you might not be as talented as you think.
I'm the guy!
Stop saying you're the guy. We all know that you're not the guy.
He's not the guy. I am.
Jumping that, 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 bitch, jumping that, jumping that bitch, jumping that, jumping that fly, jumping that bitch, hitting that fly, jumping that whip, jumping that bitch, jumping that bitch, jumping that bitch, doing circles, they say bird, bird.
Is what I would tell myself right before I shot a music video for my bro the other day. My name is Shawn. I'm your overconfident, over-optimistic visual director of a digital marketing firm. I just did a shoot for a friend of mine where a lot of mistakes were made, a lot of lessons learned. And I want to take you through that. So maybe you don't have to go through those same mistakes that I did. Or you can find some entertainment in some of the pain that I caused myself. So what happened was, Steve and I have been doing ideations about concepts for short form video content for his album release. We want stuff that's punchy, deliberate, purposeful, and concepts that align adjacent to his music, but isn't 100% on the nose, if that makes sense. We settled on an idea for a record off the album. Super excited to get it done. We wanted to get out there and start shooting right away. We both have schedules where we can't just do anything on a whim.
Let's just go to Tokyo for the month. If anyone asks, I'm in the hospital.
How have you not got fired?
And we certainly can't pick the perfect time and day to shoot. So we're already starting off with more compromised approach from the very beginning, which for us is perfectly fine because our personality types, we are more spontaneous. On top of that, the concept to us was so easy, right? Famous last words. This is supposed to be a quick, easy shoot. So I packed quick and easy gear. I brought my Lumix S5, my newer wireless lav mic, my Amazon tripod, some extras like fog in a can, my free world monitor that I really only use for the Lumix camera. And that was pretty much it. You know, the concept of the video was found footage type of film. Shaky cam, in the woods, dark.
I'm so scared right now.
That's the core of the idea for the music video. A local park that doesn't get a lot of foot traffic. There's really tall trees, but right before you get to the trees or the woodsy area, there's flat land, like it's a grassy area that you can easily traverse through. It's the winter time. It's about mid-afternoon and it's 30 degrees outside. Now that I paint this picture, let me tell you how the day actually went. We get out there and we're hyped. You know, we got the music blasting, we're in the zone. We're going over the video treatment again to really nail down the shots we want to get. Steve had some good additional ideas. I had some good additional ideas, and you know, we start recording. The first shot was a time lapse, and keep in mind, this is mid-afternoon in the middle of the winter. We quickly realized that we are on a time constraint. We look up at the sun and we both say to ourselves, yo, the sun is moving kind of fast. Steve and I are both used to shooting in studio settings, even if it's not a studio that we frequent. It's controlled lighting, controlled atmosphere, controlled temperature, mostly controlled sound. So this on-site production is out of our comfort zone, out of my comfort zone. When that time lapse started to kick off, it was metaphorically a time lapse for us as well, or a countdown for us as well. And we're cycling through the shots, and because I'm trying to make sure I get the best content, I'm doing the same shot over and over. I'm having him do the same shot over and over for insurance purposes. But it's getting darker and darker, faster and faster. So that's right in the middle of the shoot. We have to start strategizing what shots should we get first, what shots so we can stay coherent. It looks like it's in sequence and it's not too dark. We were not panicking, we weren't scrambling at this point. We felt the time constraint. We did start to communicate that to ourselves that we got to get the ball rolling on some of these shots. So I'm going to start with a video component of what I learned. I'm new to the Lumix system. I already know, I bought the camera knowing that the Lumix autofocus system isn't the best. It's still contrast based for this system. I know one step up, they now have phase detect in the next camera above this one, which is considerably better. I've been perfectly content with the autofocus performance of this camera and this lens for the past 2 months that I've had it. Now, this is where it got really sobering, is when I quickly remember that I'm used to being in a studio environment and not outside moving my camera. The idea here was that we wanted to be nimble, we want to be quick and light. I didn't want to bring my bulky, large Blackmagic 6K Pro, because then I would have to bring the big tripod as well, just to keep it up, and then movement. And the 6K Pro doesn't have in-body stabilization, but the Lumix is famous for having great in-body stabilization. That was the framework, that was the mindset. So if you're with me, you know that I wasn't too far out off base here with my thinking. The way it played out in real time was messy. As it gets darker, autofocus, especially on vlog, when you're shooting log, is not the best. The autofocus was hunting, and there was no way, no possible way, especially the way the camera was rigged up. It was very bare bones rigged up, that I can pull autofocus while doing the maneuvers and the walking to track the subject, track my subject. It wasn't, I'm not that skilled yet, right? Maybe one day. So hard lesson there. Secondly, I'm coming from the Sony system, where those cameras are basically, you can basically see in the dark with those cameras. The ISO can be very clean on 6400 to 12,000 in a Sony camera, comparatively speaking. Not, you know, very clean, but cleaner than what the Lumix has. So from 800 or 640 to 4000, the Lumix has the first base ISO level, and then from 4000 up is the second base ISO. So I had to crank it up to 6400, where I felt comfortable, as far as I can tell from my monitor. At the darkest point of the day, I was struggling with nighttime footage, and stay with me, because that's going to come back to haunt me at the very end. The autofocus was giving me trouble. The light was giving me trouble as well. Let's talk about the composition and execution of said shots. Once you get in the woods, you get in the weeds, we didn't realize that, like, yo, the ground is not level. There's a bunch of leaves. You can't really tell where you're gonna step, where it's gonna, like, when you're recording, that dip looks unintentional. Like that shaky walk looks unintentional, doesn't look purposeful. So that was something we had to figure out in real time. And then for the video, we had to dig a hole. We're out there, 30-degree weather, digging a hole in the woods. We look crazy.
Alive with the Lord.
Get your ass in the car.
We definitely did not have any permits. He was getting cold, he was getting uncomfortable. That makes you more antsy, more eager to stop the production. Makes me more eager to stop the production, because you don't want your subject to be uncomfortable. You want them to be as comfortable as possible. And we're getting to the closing shots. The closing shots is the most important shot, because it is like a cliffhanger in a way. I was trying to move as fast as possible. Now, I mentioned two things. This camera's ability to shoot in the nighttime was hurting us. And I also mentioned that I had a tripod that I got from Amazon. Now, it was a very highly rated tripod, but what was happening is, for the final shot, the tripod's head, this camera, it only has 1/4-20 screw hole at the bottom for the tripod mount. The angle of the tripod, gravity was slowly turning the camera
Swung his body to the
away from the subject, and it was super annoying and super difficult to correct. There was nothing I could do about it. There was nothing I could do about it. We talked about video, let's talk about audio. I didn't use actual monitoring headphones to really dial in the audio, right? I kind of just I used the levels on the camera and the levels on the wireless lav to really just guesstimate if we're good. Turns out he was clipping quite a bit in some portions of the video, which makes that totally unusable. But fast forward back to what I was talking about. I was overly confident that, hey, we're shooting in 6400 ISO. This is a 10-bit camera. I should have enough data in post, increase the exposure to lift it a little bit to actually see better and grade and still be able to grade it to a decent point. I was wrong. Good day, sir. You get nothing. Yeah, no matter, every camera is different. You really got to know your camera, because at a certain point, your camera is completely useless. If not enough light is hitting that sensor, then there is absolutely nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing you can do in post to recover it. And it was just too dark. What I recorded was the one good shot that we recorded for the final scene was way too dark. I yell action. He does the thing, the one scene for the cliffhanger, and I was like, oh, fuck. I shot it upside down. I shot it upside down, bro. I was so eager to get the shot that I wasn't realizing that when he does the thing for the final scene, that the camera, he'll be facing the wrong way when he executes the action in the scene. So that's what led to us shooting it again, and then it was really dark, and then there wasn't enough light to really get a good shot. Bad. All bad, not good. So what did we walk away with? We walked away with some itchy legs, runny noses, cold hands, bad backs, bruised egos, and a whole lot of life lessons. And you know what? Even though I feel bad that we didn't execute as well, or I didn't execute as well as I thought I would do on that shoot day, I know that those lessons that I learned the hard way are lessons that will prevent me from making those mistakes on bigger shoots in the future, either for Steve or for any other client that I have in the future. So I still value. But anyway, if any of this stuff ever happened to you, please drop a like. If you just found entertainment in the story, the pain, the sting of what I went through during this shoot, drop a like as well. If you have a similar story like that, or a lesson in the mix of what I described that you'd like to share with me as well, drop a comment below. Once again, my name is Shawn, and we out. Peace.
Beat 'em up.